So you guys know how much I love talking about African mythology and folk tales and stories on this page. Like, this is one of my favorite types of content to make, particularly when it comes to Mami Wata. I even have a whole playlist dedicated to stories about her. And I was fortunate enough to be featured in an article by Women's Health UK talking about African mythology and Mami Wata in particular. It's a very interesting article written by Danai Nesta Kupembe, and it talks about the portrayal of Bianca Barclay in Netflix's hit series Wednesday. So for those of you who haven't watched the show, Bianca Barclay is a siren. A siren is basically an evil mermaid. Even though for a lot of people where I'm from, mermaids just in general are evil, what I love most about this article is you get to hear the perspective of different young women across different parts of the African continent talking about their experiences with mermaids or sirens and the stories that they were told growing up. One of the questions that I was asked that stood out to me was, how did it feel seeing a black mermaid/siren? As I mentioned in the article, it was normal to me because growing up, I knew that there were black mermaids even before I knew there were white ones because it's a part of my culture. For those of you who don't know, the lore of these half-human, half-fish people originate in Africa, Asia, and Europe. So these beings can look like anybody from any one of those places. So Bianca's addition to the show had me really excited, but not because it's this unheard of form of representation, because again, in my culture, mermaids look like this, but because the actress is so beautiful and talented. Bianca Barclay in Wednesday is exactly how mermaids and Mami Wata were described to me as a child. Everything about the sirens in Wednesday is similar to what I heard about mermaids growing up. Bianca's mother is a prime example of that. She uses her siren song to make men do what she wants them to do. And Bianca has similar powers. She can use her siren song to make anybody do what she wants. That's Mami Wata. Obviously with a few exceptions, like there are hundreds of stories of her and other mermaids with different powers. Growing up in Kinshasa in the Democratic Republic of Congo, sitting by the riverside was one of my favorite things to do. But every time there would always be some old man or woman that's like, don't sit so close to the river, the mermaids will come and get you. And I'm very stubborn, so I was always like, okay, but I didn't do anything to them, so why would they come for me? And they were like, yeah, but mermaids don't care. And I was like, okay, but I'm not dumb enough to like jump into the river. And they're like, yeah, but they'll lure you with their powers and they'll make you go into the river. Because of this, I don't sit near water at night. There's so much to unpack on this topic, but in the meantime, I highly recommend reading this article. I'll put the link in my bio.